David Bay here for MuscularDevelopment.com. We are way backstage at the 2014 IFBB Tampa Pro, hanging out with your winner, back in the winner's circle with Victor Martinez. Victor came out with the best package you've brought in a while since you've had some of the injuries and some of the other obstacles that you've faced. Talk to us a little bit, about walking away with a win here tonight in Tampa.
Kind of feels like Groundhog Day over here, you know, because it's always come back, come back, come back. Like I said, I've been back. Every time in this game of bodybuilding is about progress. And from the New York Pro last year to the Olympia to the Arnold to now, it's been a journey. It's been a journey, but my journey has been to pretty much show that, you know, you just don't quit. You dedicate, you devote your time, and you use basically, you know, I mean, I'm getting emotional. You have everybody that gets behind you, everybody that doesn't give up on you, you use their strength and you use it. They believe in you and you put it to work. You put it to work, and in that work is time. And that's what I had. So every single time that I had to work, I put it on to play. And that's what basically sprouts, you know. It's you know, you advance. And from the Arnold, you know I wanted top 3. I wanted to win it. Here I am. I do have a win, you know, and it was just time. So, I mean, at this point, I'm just...
No, that's all right. That's all right. Now, Victor, as far as a fan base in bodybuilding, one of the biggest fan bases that we see out of any of the competitors, especially out on the East Coast. But we know bodybuilding fans are fickle. And when somebody has some injuries and faces some things like Victor does, bodybuilding fans can be some of the quickest to write people off. After Victor's showing tonight, do you think he silenced all those people?
Obviously. I mean, that's what we were hoping for. I mean, Victor's had so many setbacks, you know, you couldn't write it. It's like the Days of Our Lives screenplay we're reading here. And it must have been in his mind, the things that people are saying. This guy is a very proud man, but he's also a warrior, and he proved it tonight. My only reservation was when he went to the competitors meeting and picked number 13, I thought, oh, here we go again. You know, why 13? But he overcame even that. I mean, this is the best shape he's been in for 2 or 3 years, and it sent out a message to the Olympia.
Yeah, and this was no slouch lineup. William Bonac, who won just a week ago in Sacramento, had a huge finish in Australia earlier on this year. Max Charles looking his best. Now, Peter, one of the things that we discussed when Victor came out, and Victor might not want to hear this quite as much, but when William came out, we thought, this might be William's show. Victor came out, we thought, well, he's definitely in the running. But as soon as we saw the comparisons, it was back to this is Victor's show. How do you feel about, when you see these guys individually and then side by side and somebody pulls ahead the way Victor did?
Well, I mean, bodybuilding all comes down to how you compare to somebody else, and Victor proved it this afternoon and tonight. Yeah, William looked pretty impressive, and he's a newish type of package, especially to me. And Victor came out, and wow, he looked great as well. But it could be neck and neck with these two. But when they stood next together, Victor's round muscle bellies, the size of him, the sweep of his body was just too overpowering for William.
Now, Victor, there was a lot of people questioning, and we had touched on this in the interview before the show, a lot of people were questioning, hey, Victor's already qualified for the Olympian points. Mathematically, there was no way you were going to get bumped with this last show with any of the guys here. You talked about wanting to go into the Olympia with a victory. Now, with 6 weeks left before the Olympia, it's a tough time frame for a competitor. Obviously, holding your conditioning for 6 weeks is almost impossible, but at the same time, you can't back off your diet a little bit too much. Do you kind of have a game plan set out for the next 6 weeks?
You got to remember, I entered this show, yes, I did qualify. Yes, I didn't really have to do the show, but I also wanted to be a contender, as I told you before. And in order to be a contender in the Olympia, you have to be a winner. And I wanted to win this show, which is what puts me in the contender circle. By points, not to take away from anybody else that qualified by points or anything like that. I've been doing this 20 years. I've been in the Olympia, time on. And right now, it just gives you a different spectrum of basically being worthy of being within the top 6, at the Olympia stage. Right now, again, I've been back a year and a half training. It's a tough road, the injuries. Once you break something, it never goes back the same. You know, all you can do is, you know, work with it and make the best of it. And right now, I qualified. It puts me in a whole different mind frame. You know, puts me in a whole different mind frame for the Olympia. Game changer. You know, am I going to push harder? Yes. You know, because now the level of confidence has increased, of course. You know, but how is that? Because of, you know, the people that have backing me up, MHP, you know, Gerard Dente, Steve Blackman. I mean, these guys never quit on me, you know. George Farah, you know, Victor Munoz. These guys don't quit on me, and my fans, you know, they know what I've been through.
Absolutely.
They know it's always, is Victor in, is Victor out? It's always a question mark, and I don't want to have that doubt. You know what? If there's work to be done, I'm the man for it. There's suffering involved, you know, pain, I'm the man for it, you know. I will do it, you know. As long as I know I'm trying, you know, I will not falter, you know, and I will keep pushing to my best, to my ability.
Well, you certainly proved that tonight with a win. Now, you know, to kind of wrap this up, holding the microphone as a longtime fan of bodybuilding, you know, this is an absolute honor for me. And obviously, I'm not going to point you in the right direction or any direction for that sake for the Olympia. However, we do have somebody standing next to us who's been in the game as long as anybody could and experienced as anybody could possibly be. Peter, any last words for Victor heading into the Olympia?
Well, he's a great bodybuilder, but he's a great guy. He's a very likable guy. He's got such a fan base. Everybody wants to see him do well. 2 years ago, we did an article where you opened your heart up to me about all the problems you'd had from childhood right the way through. This is before the broken arm, by the way. And I felt I owed it to Victor to give it my best shot. And I think it's the best thing I ever wrote. I owed it to him because he'd opened his heart up to me. That's the kind of empathy and loyalty you get with this guy.
Well, when somebody like the past that Peter has says his piece on you was the best he's ever done, that obviously speaks volumes how he thinks about you, man.
And I always say, I always read his pieces when he was with Flex, and now he's with our family, of course, which is awesome, you know. And one of the best writers, the best person who can actually take a situation and he breaks it down from your soul and really pretty much translates it. And who does it better than Peter McGough? You know, he's seen what I've been through. He knows what I've been through. And when people ask me, how do you do it? What keeps you going? It's reading things that he puts on paper in black and white. That's my inspiration. Words. As most people see them as words, those are my strength. And that's what I use when I go into that gym. That's what I use. That's what flows through my blood. And that's what, you know, I translate into that hardcore training. And there we go.
I feel like I should step out and let these two hug it out here for a little while.
Let's go and get a room, Victor.
He's got a pink. Oh, here we go. Oh, there it is. There it is. Don't. All right, I got a white shirt on and you got pro tan on. Otherwise, I'd give you a big. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap it up. Obviously, Olympia coming up in 6 weeks. Look for Victor to be making a big splash on that stage. But for now, we're going to let you enjoy your victory here in Tampa. So we're going to wrap things up. This is David Bay with Peter McGough and your 2014 Tampa Pro winner, Victor Martinez for MuscularDevelopment.com and Iron Mag Labs.